Good morning to each and everyone. Welcome to the final video discussion in Accounting 111. Today, I will discuss about the closing entries and the post-trial balance. Just a reminder, please watch this video carefully. So let's start with the closing entry. So what is a closing entries? Closing entries are a series of entries required at the end of the fiscal period to bring the balances of the temporary accounts to zero so that they will be ready to receive data for the next accounting period. In other words, ang ato ang common word or ato ang magic words here are zero and then ready. Why is it zero? Because we need to close those temporary accounts to zero. Nga man, ato siyang ipang zero. For you to understand what is this all about, I want you to check first your module or the final module in Accounting 111. Again, those temporary accounts, kinahato siyang i-zero so that they will be ready for the next accounting period. It means, kung sa ano pa ni siya sa relationship, there must be a closure. Okay? I-fix tanan before mag-move on. So, that's what we call as the closing entries. Again, later I will show you what are those temporary accounts. Basta ang mga temporary accounts, ato siyang ipang zero kay di naman siya magamit for the next accounting period. And then, ready na siya mo gather og data. So, ready na siya mo gather og data sa next accounting period. So, this is very much needed. Dili siya its choice, but this is really required for us to complete the accounting process. So what are those temporary accounts? We have the revenue, the cost, expenses, and then the drawing accounts. So later, no, maapektuhan diri while we close those per accounts or temporary accounts, ang maapektuhan ani would be the ledger, and then we will create the closing entries later. Okay? So revenue, katong mga sales ninyo, katong sales return allowances, those type of accounts, ato to siyang i-back to zero o ipang-close ato siya because it will not be used for the next accounting period. Cost, kato mga purchases, yung mga contra accounts of purchases, ato apod to siyang ipang zero. Kaya once palita karon, we will not use that amount for the next accounting period. Kaya nagamit naman siya. Isod po, ding pay kakarog Gs. Imong gilista siya. But then, pagka next accounting period is, ano siya, kanang, imong pong gigamit to nga value. But you just found out that nagbag-o daw ka ng amount DI. So, that's not the right thing to do. Next, expenses. Kung na mga gastuson. Once nga nagasto na siya, it will not be used in the accounting or next accounting period. So, need to siya, ano lang siya, temporary, wala joy forever. So, need to siya is zero. Lastly, we have the drawing accounts. Of course, that's yung drawing account, that will be the salary of the owner or ipangkuha nga money sa owner. So ato na siya ipang-close because I believe nga pagka next accounting period, another amount sa pod ang magamit dira o maputang sa drawing account. Remember, these are the temporary accounts. So, yeah, we have here the income summary. Kinsay naka-observe dito sa ato ang chart of accounts, 'di ba? Nakabantay mo ng income summary and some of you are asking, "Sir, para asa may si income summary?" So this is the right time that I will answer your questions. Income summary is considered as a clearing account. So after we transfer all revenue and expense account balances to income summary, its balance represents the net income or net loss for the period. Then we close the balance in the income summary account or transfer it to the owner's capital account, resulting in a zero balance in income summary. So those temporary accounts, okay, para automatically nga murag siya yung magsilbi, murag siya ka ng lock kung sa balay pa na. Siya yung mo lock, siya yung mo close. That's why clearing account, siya yung mo clear to those account mo finalize. Those revenue and expenses accounts mapunta dito sa income summary, and then the income summary will be the one to do the work. Siya na mo zero anak nga mga account. So I cannot explain to you the process for the meantime, but then later mas masabtan na niyo siya. Okay? That is the income summary or the clearing account. So if you do have any other questions, that just comment below, okay? So at this very moment, it is bound to the closing entries. So as what I've said, we need to close all those balances, okay? All those temporary accounts for us to be ready in the next accounting period. So, as what I've said doon, anak ko ninyo nga, okay, ipang ko na to, i-close na to ang mga revenue and then expenses. So, let's start with the revenue accounts. So, di ba ang part sa revenue, we have here the sales, okay? Natay sales diri, napotay sales return allowances, the sales discount. So, we need to debit the sales which is 105,600. We also have the sales return allowances to the credit part, 2,200. Sales discount, still credit part yapon siya, 276. Maybe you're asking, sir, that's not the right normal balance. So atong bato no atong balihon. If debit gani ang normal balance niya sa una, once mabutang siya sa closing entries, it will be credited. If ang normal balance niya is credit, ato siya himuong balance. Ato siyang himuon ka ng debit para ma-close siya. So ato siyang i-reverse. 'Di ba? So 'di ba ang sales nato that is credit part in normal that the normal balance of sales is what? Yes, that is credit. But in here, ata siyang gihimong debit. So, where did I get 105,600? Asa ni makita? Yes, dito ni siya makita sa atong mga sa atong income statements. Kaya sales return allowances of sales discount, ang normal balance before is debit. So, para ma-close siya, ato siyang i-credit. Okay? Ato siyang i-credit. That's why, after ana, i-add to ni si sales return allowances of sales discount. After that, i-minus ni 105,600. So, 105,600. The total is, pilay total niya, 103,124 pesos. That's why dira na mo gawa si income summary. So, since mas, ano man siya, kanang, gamay man tanawon or gamay man ang value nito ni credit, dito na ito ibutang si income summary. Again, yun sa pagkuha, 105,000 105,600 minus 2,200 minus 276 is equal to 103,124. So, dili siya sa credit ha kay kung dili mo ibutang, di mo dako si debit. So, that's why ato siyang gi-balance. So, what will be our explanation? To close revenue account. Again, to close revenue account. And then, our date here must be the final date of the month. For instance, in September 2020, the final date is 30. And then don't forget the PR or the post reference per account title. So sir, ngayon naamay ka ng PR si income summary. So just go back to the chart of accounts. Are you with me? Okay, so let's move on. Again, we're done with the sales revenue or the revenue account. Ato na siyang gibalhing gibutang ni income summary. Next, we have here the cost accounts. So, what are those cost accounts? So, ato i-combine ang purchases o ang mga expenses. So, same ragapon siya og kanang rule ani nga pag debit gani siya, himo nimo siyang credit, pag credit gani siya, himo nimo siyang debit, but naa siya exception. And that would be the merchandise inventory. Before, ang yang normal balance is debit. But when it comes to merchandise inventory, still debit ragapon siya. So, try to check it ang amount anino which is 12,340 pesos. So, atong bahaton, tanan nga mga sapol ang sa purchases atong nanin saan. Kaning purchase return allowances and then the purchase discount before that will be credit na siya because contra account siya ni purchase. But right now, ato siyang gimong debit. So, just get the value of these accounts. We also have here the purchases, the freight in, all the expenses along with the freight in, apel ang freight in. Diba? Normally, we have debit values for these accounts. Diba? So, karon ato siyang gimong credit for us to close these accounts. How do we get the income summary? First thing first, i-add ni tanan. Kani siya tanan, i-add. After that, i-minus siya sa mga accounts nga naa sa debit. So, i-add tanan, minus 3,500, minus 360, minus 12,340 is equal to 101,350. The question is, asa na to ibutang si income summary? Pwede ba dili sa credit or sa debit? So, dili uh, for this entries, ato siya ibutang sa debit because para mo equal siya sa tuang credit nato. Kung ibutan nato ni si income summary ni credit, wa na, di na balance eh. Di na siya mo balance. And still, don't forget our explanation to close costs and expenses. Again ha, ato lang siya i-reverse ang balances niya. So, kani mag-uban dyan siya tanan. Dili pwede nga maasaag si sales or si sales discount and so on. Okay? Let's move on. So, as what I've said before, no, nga ang atong drawing account must also be, unsay metabo niya, must also be changed po siya, or not changed, but ato siyang i-turn into 0. So, since ang drawing is under the owner's equity, okay, di ba, maka-apekto man siya sa atong, directly affects our capital. So, no need na ta magamit og income summary, pero ato siyang i-impact ni, unsa man, ni Mondragon Capital or ang capital sa owner. So, instead of debit, kay di ba ang atong drawing before is debit. Yeah? So, atong bahaton, himo na to siyang credit. So, that will be 2,500. Then, ato siyang i-debit ni Mondragon Capital because directly maapektuhan man si capital. So, same na po no, 2,500 ang ato ang debit. That will be Mondragon Capital. On the other hand po, di ba, can you still remember what is 1,774? Sure? That is our net income. So, si net income, mo ato siyang gikuan kanang gibutang nato. Okay? 'Di ba ang normal balance nato, ang normal balance si capital is credit. So, since there is a net income, okay, net income man siya, nadungagan man siya. So, ato i-credit si 1,774. Okay? Debited by income summary which is 1,774. Okay ha? Kani say 1,774 mo na siya si income, mo na siya si net income. You cannot answer this one without having the income statement. So, as what I've said, konektado sila from the beginning, no? From the business transaction, paingon dili nga part, connected sila tanan. You cannot answer. Once marong pa lang ka dito sa business transaction, it means once wrong ka dito, you cannot get the final answer in the long run. Okay? Again, credited 1,774. Debit ato si income summary. So, that's what will happen. So, let's move on. Okay. So, in here, so, ato nang gipang ato na tong mga yung mga closing entries. As what I've said, nga once natin closing entries, ato apod mag-close pud ta sa tuang ledger. So, kato inyo ang ledger before, di ba naman nakabot ang ledger ani. Ang ato lang buhaton is ipang kuan siya, natay dungagan ana mag-closing entry sa siya. Okay? For instance, here in the Mondragon Capital, di ba nata initial investment of 500,000 pesos. Okay? So, as what I've said, connected man si drawing. Di ba? Connected there is si drawing. How much will be our drawing na to? That will be 2,500. So, gibutan na to diri si drawing kay debited man siya normal. And then, we have the closed income summary of, what is this? 1,774 or the net income. Munang net income, giduwag na to siya sa tong capital, si drawing pod, gi-minus na to sa tong capital. So, in here, 500, deduct na to siya 2,500, that will be 497,500. After that, since we do have here the net income, okay, net income, total of 1,774, it means our official Mondragon capital is or will be 499,274. Okay, question. Is there something wrong? Sure? Or naamoy na remember? Yes, naamoy na remember because kani si 499,274 mo ni ang value nga naa sa Statement of Changes in Owner's Equity. Statement of Changes in Owner's Equity. Bala! Oo sir, pareho sir. So kung magpareho na silang duwa, pag mag-close mo o pag imo na siyang dili na mo sa closing entries of say Statement of Changes in Owner's Equity, then you got the correct answer. Okay ha? Kung sa gani value dito sa Statement of Changes in Owner's Equity, maupad ang atong value diri sa Mondragon Capital. Next, we have the Mondragon drawing. So, this is what I said nga a while ago nga ata siyang ipang zero, ipang close to siya. We need a proper closure because you cannot move on. Di ba yun pa nila? You cannot move on without having a proper closure. So, in here, to close drawing, ato siyang gi-credit. So, debited ang balance niya, 2,500 minus 2,500, the total is 0. So, gi-close na to siya. Para, for the next accounting period, 0 na siya. Magdita po siya or ready na po siya for another gathered data. So, ang explanation here, we have close drawing. CE. What do you mean by CE? CE means closing entry. Ato siyang gipang 0. So, here, sales return and allowances, diba, ang last ato kay kani patong na dito sa inyo ang ledger. I want you to check the other modules niyo para maka-relate mo, diba mo dili to siya taman. So, for right now, ato ang i-credit si sales return allowances because ang yung normal balance is debit. Ato siya i-credit para ma-zero siya. So, 2,200 minus 2,200 is equal to 0. Okay, that will be 0. So, don't forget the double rule. Same here. Sales discount, no? Ang iyaang kuan niya is debit siya. So, ato siyang i-0. It means atong gi-credit si 276, a total of 0. So, 0. Kung wala na siya, kung di ko kakita sa yung 0 dito sa inyo ang ledger, means wrong. Wala pa na siya ka-move on. Okay? So, these are the other accounts nga ato ang i-0. So, wala na ako siya ipakita so that we can save time. So, these are the other temporary accounts. We have the purchases, ipang 0 na siya, freight in, purchase return allowances, purchase discounts, salaries expense, rent expense, utilities expense, and then the freight out, okay? The freight out. So, yeah, I want you to check again the closing entries. Di ba ang pinaka last entry there is the income summary. So, the question is, how did we get it? Okay? So, asa ta kakuha aning 103,124, kaning 103,124, kaning 101,350, and then si close income summary 1,774. How did we get this? Okay? So for us to understand the closing entries of income summary, so ako siyang bungkagon. Ngano nakuha ito si 103,124 to the revenue account. So kanay si sales return allowances, and then sa sales discount, no? Mo na siyang part sa revenue. So muna itong ipang-close na to. How did we get these values? Kabantay mo itong i-mention kanina katong mga ledger. Kato ganing mga value nga atong gipang close gani mo na tong ipang tipok tanan. 'Di ba? In here, si sales na to 105,600 kani siya. So, debit man to siya no. Atong gi-close dito kay supposedly credit na to siya, di atong gi-close na mo siyang debit. Then same with the contra accounts of sales, 'di ba? Kung sa itong gigamit nga gipang close ito sa ilang mga ledger atong gibutang dere. So, how did we get 103,124? 105,600 minus 2,200 minus 276 is equal to 103,124. Okay, so that's why we get this value. On the other hand, dirita sa cost and expenses. Same with the rule ra gihapon siya no. Ang katong gipang zero nato sa mga temporary accounts atong gigamit diri, 'di ba? Sa una ang atong purchases, atong mga purchases, normal value or normal balances of purchase is debit, pero karon gibutan ako siya diri sa credit. Bantay to yung try to watch or try to observe the closing entry sa ledger. Okay? So, freight in, we have here, purchase or to allowances, 3,500. Purchase discount, atong gidebit si 360 kay, di ba, before is, yung normal balance niya is, kung sa credit. So, kung sa itong gipang zero dito, mo itong gamiton mga account ha, taman diri sa freight out, that will be 350. How do we get 113,619? So, add all the values in credit, add all the values in debit, and then i-deduct silang duha ko as sinusta ko. So, the total is 113,690. Are you still confused? So, if you still have any other questions, just comment below, okay? Just write your questions in the comment section. Okay, so this is how we got the income summary. So, kanino? Ang close revenue nato, we have here 103,124. So, credit siya. Itong sa previous ito nga slides. Ang cost and expenses, 101,350. Yes, previous aning nga slide. So, itong buhaton, 103,124 minus 101,350, a total of 1,774. So, di ba, as what I've said, ang rule ng income summary, siya yung locker. Siya yung tig-close. So, makita nimo diri no, nga nahimo siyang zero ang ato ang final account ni income summary. Why? Ngano na zero man siya? Because of the 1,774. Unsa man ni siya? Unsa ni siya? Mao ni siya ang ato ang value sa net income. Again, mao ni siya ang value sa ato ang net income. That will be 1,774. So, ato ididak ang duwa, finally, we get 0. If your answer here is 1 or 2 or more or less, anak, so, sad to say, your overall calculation is wrong. Pag di na ginama 0, I'm sorry, dudong, inday, there might be an error. I mean error. So, there might be an error if ever kung delete siya ma-0. So, right now, let's proceed with the post-closing trial balance. That will be the last process nga to ang i-encounter. So, if we talk about post-closing trial balance, that will be the trial balance prepared after the adjusting and closing processes. We have closed the temporary accounts that are why we no longer include them. So, this balance or kani nga accounts is ready siya for the next accounting period. Remember, there will be no temporary accounts included because ato naman siyang ipang-close, just like what we did in the previous slides. Okay? So, this is how we illustrate the post-closing trial balance. Okay? So, this is the example of post-closing trial balance. As what I've said, only the non-temporary accounts are included because katong mga temporary accounts, ato na to siyang gipang 0 and ready to receive any gathered data for the next accounting period. So, ang included diri, we have here the cash, account receivable, merchandise inventory, supplies, office equipment, accounts payable, notes payable, and then the capital. So, again, ato lang ipangbutang tong mga accounts ani which is already stated in the ledger. Kung pila yung mga value ano yung final value per ledger per accounts mo itong ibutang. Same with cash, okay? So sa cash no, we have 512,334. So I want you to check your module ito sa ledger part. Mo ni siya ang value. And then we also have the account receivable. Okay, yeah. Kani si merchandise inventory, i-include to siya 12,340. Kay ano man siya, remaining man siya, wala siya na money ang remaining inventory for this accounting period. Which means nga gamitin siya at the beginning na pod for the next accounting period. We also have here the supplies and office equipment. Then this one pod, sa credit side, ang mga non-temporary accounts or permanent accounts, we have accounts payable, notes payable, and then the Mondragon capital. Reminder, do not use the values of Mondragon capital in the ledger kay wala pa to siya na finalize. Use the value katong nasa patong naa sa ato ang statement of changes in owner's equity. So what's the deal? Make it sure that the debit and credit must be equal to each other. If ever na pod, kung dili siya mag-equal, it means nga there is really an error. So pag di na siya mag-equal, you need to find ways or find reasons nga no wala siya ga-equal. Even though kulang na siyang piso or 50 centavo, it could be assign that is already assigned nga nay na mali sa inyo ang pag-solve ana. So don't forget the double rule and then the peso sign. If you do have any other questions, just comment below, okay? Everything. Thank you for this wonderful moment with you this semester. So I guess that will be all. Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye. Bye.